and welcome to Your Time to Shine with Darlene and Julie. Your Time to Shine is a radio show inviting you to explore your own divine gifts. Good evening. How are you?
Hi, Julie.
Hello, Darlene.
I'm calling in by phone tonight. So how does it get any better than that?
Isn't technology lovely?
It is. So welcome to the show. And tonight, what we will be able to do is answer some Facebook Live questions.
Yeah, we thought we would do something a little bit different. Actually, it was kind of funny. Last weekend, my husband was watching the show via Facebook Live, and there were people texting in and saying hello. And we weren't up on Facebook Live at the moment of our show, so we were missing all of those wonderful callers and people who were watching us. So we're going to try something a little bit different tonight. See if we can make this fly.
We're working on it.
So one of the things that Darlene and I wanted to talk about tonight was really interesting. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and we were talking about mediums and spiritual healers and psychics, intuitives, and the world is getting a lot better about opening their arms and being more open to this idea. But there still is a little bit of angst around the whole thing. And it was really interesting because, like I said, a good friend of mine showed me, or showed a group of us, something that somebody had written, and it says, never go to a medium and show them a picture of your loved one because they don't want you to be happy. And it continued on about a whole bunch of other things. And it was really disheartening to know that there are still so many people out there that do not understand or are afraid. And so what that does is, when there's all that negativity, it really is hard for anybody that has these special gifts to come out into their light and follow their path. Darlene, have you had this experience?
Yeah, when I talk to people about the gifts, people are very hesitant to tell anybody that they're able to do things. They're afraid of being judged. And yeah, it's the old stigma of, and I think a lot of it is religious and from the Bible, where it says, don't go to people who, predict the future. And so there's, in the culture, there is this underlying fear that, people with these gifts are the devil or something scary, people you shouldn't talk to. And even though that goes back centuries upon centuries, it's still something that people believe in. And Julie and I happen to live in a place where, everyone is pretty open about their gifts. Being in Portland, Oregon, it's a very open community, and it's known for that. So our experience, we're able to share a little bit more than somebody who maybe, who lives in the Midwest, perhaps, where it's not something that would be openly accepted. So, yeah, I hear about it all the time.
Yeah, and it makes it really hard for people to to stand in their truth and to stand in their light. And even for myself, coming out and actually saying who I am, that I am a medium, was very difficult. And
Really?
there's so many people out there with these just beautiful gifts, and they are being suppressed because of either what the family might think. That you brought up religion, Darlene. That's a big one. What the community thinks. Someone is posting on Facebook Live. A lot of people think it's all witchcraft, and
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Caitlin, you're mentioning, I wish I had psychic ability. We all have that in us.
Yep.
Yep. It's just a matter of, honing in on that gift and clearing your mind.
Yeah, and also some of it is not just clearing our mind, but clearing that mindset and clearing the fear around what people might think. And, would you lose friends, or would your family disown you? All of these ideas that go through our heads. So that's definitely something I've spoken to people about, why they have not explored their intuition and their psychic gifts. But yeah, Julie, absolutely. Everybody has this capacity because we are energy, and that's what energy does. We sense it. We can, tune into other people's energies and know what they're thinking. We can communicate with animals. And it's just, so Julie and I are here to help get over that fear, because we're proof that, and everybody who is on Air One Psychic Radio, we're all here sharing our gifts with you. And we're here on this planet, and we've chosen this time to be here especially. That's something else to really talk about, is why it's so important now more than ever to really stand in our truth and to shine our gifts. People need what you have if you're somebody that really wants to dive into that.
Right. And there are so many people out there that do, need our help, need the healing. So it's a huge time right now to step into your gifts and, and step up and get into that space of acceptance. And you'll find it so much more rewarding. I know that I have.
Oh, it's been, and it's almost, you can think of it as is freedom, because when we spend so much time hiding who we truly be, hiding these gifts, that just creates unease in our lives. Julie and I talked last week about anxiety and different, stress and depression, and a lot of that has to do with people not being congruent with their true self. And if you're suppressing your gifts, your body is going to react to that. So there's another reason to step into your gifts. You can live a freer, healthier, happier life in that respect.
Right. So. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, there is a lot of people on tonight. Wow, let's see what we can come up with here. Should we answer some of people's questions, Darlene?
Go ahead, because I'm not. I'm having all kinds of technical problems here. I'm not seeing comments at the moment. So yeah, go for it. Pick one.
Okay. Let's see.
And also, I always like to remind people that one of the purposes that Julie and I are doing our work together is because we both strongly believe that because we all have this capacity, we would love for everybody to step into the path, to not have to go outside of themselves, for the questions that you have. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Right. Let's see. Claire Anthony, she says, I'm so worried about my teenage son's health and safety. He's getting involved in a lot of drugs. Anything that you can see that I can do to help him. I love him so much. Claire, hang on for just a minute and let's see what we can come up with here.
A lot of times, especially with drugs, that's a touchy one. I'm sure Julie can expand on that. But when we're trying to change somebody else, that's often the toughest thing to do. We often, we can choose for ourselves, but when it's somebody else, with an addiction especially, we can be there, we can support them with the best tools we know how. And what I would recommend is sorting out your resources, talking to people that perhaps can shed light on what you can do. So people in that profession, explaining that you're a mom and your son is having this challenge. And that's a wonderful thing to do, is to talk with the people in the field, especially
right.
That, something like drug addiction. But Julie, what were you picking up on?
I could see him running with a group of kids, running away, and that's what really, I think that's what it really is he's running away from things. And a lot of times when people get caught up in addiction, it is because of something that they don't want to see, something that they don't want to. There's something deep down that they are not willing to or not able to deal with. And so this picture that I'm getting of him running away is very clear evidence that there is something deep down that he's hiding from. Like Darlene said, if you could get him some help, which I know is really hard, because unless the person in that situation is willing to get help, it's a really hard place for somebody else to be. But there's something going on with him that he doesn't want to admit. That there's something maybe going on with the family that he's having a hard time with. I see a lot of dark heaviness around him, on his shoulders. He's carrying a lot of weight of something. If you can find out what that is, then you'd be able to help and direct him a little bit farther. But I'm getting that that's not going to be an easy thing at this point.
I would probably say reach out to local support and ask them what their process is, what they recommend to do. Because in my family, we experienced drug addiction with my brother, and the more you try to change them or talk to them about it, it pushes them away in many cases. So if I had it to do over again, I would have reached out to people that specialize in drug addiction at local clinics, and then he wouldn't have had to, go through what he went through, perhaps. And so they know best what to do. Many of the counselors have been through it themselves, so
Right.
they know exactly what's going on. And if there is something like Julie was talking about, an underlying issue that he's trying to run away from, the specialists, the people in the field would be able to explain to you how you can approach it without pushing him away. So
Right.
that would be what I would recommend. So, yeah.
We have one, Cinda Hodge. I need help on a murder case that has gone cold due to corruption. Wow, there's I keep getting that you're looking in the wrong place. There's a lot of confusion, and there's a lot going on around this. Yeah, Cinda, this is, there's a lot going on around this. I mean, my brain feels like I'm in a fog and there's confusion. There are definitely people trying to hide things from going on with this. What I would ask you to do is go to our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, and get us there, and we can look into this a little further. Darlene, are you picking up anything?
Not this particular situation, no.
Yeah. I think, Cinda, this is one that I would need to sit with for a while.
Yeah.
And think about. Yeah, like I said, my head's spinning. So there's a lot going on, a lot more than what we can do in 10 more minutes of our show.
Yeah, I'm getting a headache with the heaviness around it. So definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely one that would take a little more time to dive into.
Right. Absolutely. Caitlin Bennett, I'm just wondering about my future in the next 3 months and if I will finally be out of this program, which has caused nothing but trouble. Immediately, I'm getting this picture of clouds. Basically, these clouds are low-lying, almost like fog, but they're very, very heavy, and they're starting to lift and clear. So yes, I do believe that things are going to start feeling lighter to you. Yeah, I'm getting that in the next few weeks, that probably sooner, that things are going to resolve themselves. And that it's going to be a lot brighter, a lot lighter. Darlene, would you like to add to this?
I'm hearing something interesting. So in one of the modalities I use is called access consciousness, and we ask lots of questions when something like this comes up. So an awareness will show up for us when we're stuck in a situation or we feel as if we can't find the way out. What I'm hearing is consider or think about, ask yourself, what's right about this that you're not getting? So there's something within this program that is serving you, or it's providing you something that will be helpful, whether it's now or the future. So if you can just sit with it for a few minutes and ask that question to yourself, what's right about this that I'm not getting? And even I'm seeing a notebook and a pen, so if you sit down and write down whatever comes to mind, like journal about it a little bit, and you may sense something that shows up that also may lighten whatever it is. Yeah.
Right. A lot of times we are brought things or things come to us that they seem like they're really tough hurdles to get over. And a lot of times it just brings into awareness, like Darlene said, to what is really right about this. You have to look at the other side of the coin as well. Because sometimes something that looks really bad really is working for our highest and best good.
Right. There's something in it that will be useful for you.
Right.
That's what I'm hearing.
Let's see.
Cheryl Ann, I wanted to address this. Every day you're suffering with some fearful thoughts. First thing I'm going to say is, who do they belong to, Shirley Ann? Mm-hmm. Most of the time when we have feelings like this, we are picked because we're energy. I know I say this all the time. We are energy. We are picking up from everything around us. And right now, there are some negative feelings in the world. There's some heaviness happening all over, not just in America, but just all over the world. So if you can just sit and just ask, who does this belong to? You don't even need to know who that is. You just say, return to sender. We are all energy and pick up on everybody's thoughts, everybody's feelings. Return them. They're not yours. And then you'll feel lighter. You can send them to the earth if you'd like. The earth is all about cleansing and healing us and taking any of those negative, heavy feelings, and the earth transmutes it. So who does this belong to? Return it all, Shirley Ann. And what else? If there's energy work that you can receive, like Reiki, or there is also something called Access Consciousness, the bars. If you look in your area and see if you can find a practitioner, and that's all about getting rid of what doesn't belong to us. And there's so many energetic body processes that you can look into. It's the heaviness that doesn't belong to us. We're infinite beings, and we're just picking up on everything around us. So return to sender, Shirley Ann. And if you have any questions about that or anything more that you want to talk about, you can go to our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, and it's the podcast that you can click, and I would love to chat with you any more. If you have any more questions about that, we can look up, where in your town there might be some energetic assistance that you can receive. Okay?
Right, and just to add to that, Shirley Ann, when we're worried about our health, That just, as we worry more and more, it just keeps blocking us, and then that creates more worry and more anxiety.
And more health issues, yeah.
And health issues, absolutely. So, like Darlene said, do what you can to look inside and say, whose is this? And, if it feels like it almost goes away, then it's not yours. And return, and like she said, return it. I'm picking up that your guides in spirit are saying you're fine, you're going to be fine. So take that and take it to heart, and really use that, and remember that we're all picking up on everybody around us, and it really might not be yours. So I hope that helps.
And even if it feels like some of it is, you can at least get rid of some of it if it's not all yours. And really go to our page and we can talk further about it.
Right. And it looks like we're actually coming down to the close of our show this evening. So if we didn't get to all of you this evening, please feel free to go over to our web or our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, and we'd be happy to chat with you more there.
Thank you, Julie. Wow, this was wonderful, being able to incorporate the Facebook Live portion.
It was.
I love that. Yeah.
Everybody have a great evening, and we will see you next week.